Yo, what's the dealio, man? Listen, you already know I got a straight banger for you today, all right? So, in this video, what I want to talk about is the phases or the stages of the market, right? The cycle, right? What's the cycle of the market? Now, this is a very important topic, and if you could understand this topic and this concept, you will make a lot more money, and also you will be able to elevate your trading game, especially from swings to day trades to scalps to all of that, right? So, there's two sayings I want to ask you if you heard of. The first saying is this is a saying that they talk about in investing. It's real estate, stocks, it don't matter, right? You make your money when you buy, right? You ever heard that? Think about it. You make your money when you buy. You don't make your money in real estate when you sell. You make your money from the decision that you made previously, okay? That's the first thing. You make your money when you buy. The next thing is, have you ever heard me say, get in the trade before it is obvious? Have you ever heard me say that? Get in the trade before it's obvious. Listen to what I'm saying, guys. All right, this is extremely important. Get in the trade before it's obvious, right? You make your money when you buy, get in the trade before it's obvious, right? So that's why a lot of people lose money because they're not getting in before it's obvious, right? And I'm gonna break this all down for you guys. Now, this stuff right here, I got it from this book. I got it from this book right here, Fred McAllen, Charting. This one of them books where if you're a brand new, it's gonna be real boring, right? It's gonna be real boring. You're gonna be falling asleep sometimes, right? But this book is very, very, very good. Has very good examples and illustrations. Okay, so Fred McAllen, Charting. I learned this from him. Now, let's go over it. So y'all see this right here? We have an accumulation phase. We have a public participation phase. They call it markup, okay? And then we have the distribution phase. And then we got the markdown, all right? When I was learning about this, they didn't talk about the markdown phase. It was only three. It was accumulation, public participation, and also distribution. Okay, and I'm gonna break these down each time. But don't get too caught up on the title. I want you to get caught up on the understanding. Okay, a lot of times we be so focused on the name of something, we miss out on the actual lesson, right? So we got the accumulation phase, the public participation / markup phase. We got the distribution phase, and then we got the markdown. All right. And after this, we're going to go to the charts, and I'm going to show you guys a textbook example of this stuff. All right. So let's go to the accumulation phase first. The accumulation phase, it's oversold, it's consolidating, it's inside of a range, and it's lower than where it previously was. Right? Think just plain and simple. This is where you want to accumulate your position. You want to get in your position. It doesn't matter if you're buying shares. It doesn't matter if you're doing you're swinging, getting in the leaps, whatever. Accumulation phase, okay? This is the phase, the period, the cycle. This is a time for you to enter in your trade and get in at the accumulation. Now, you could get in at the beginning of the accumulation phase. You could also get in at the end of the accumulation phase and things blast off, okay? The next cycle is the markup or the public participation phase. Plain and simple, it's the uptrend, it's the breakout, okay? It's going to the top, it's going to the price target, right? So that's what's happening in the markup phase or the public participation phase, okay? And then the next one is the distribution phase. As you can see, it says this is the area where the thing is overbought. This is where a lot of brand new investors, they buy in. And this is when you start to see a lot of drawdown. This is why I say get in the trade before it is obvious. I can't say it enough. Stop getting in a trade at the top of its move because you are going to get cooked. All right? Don't get in at the distribution phase. You may get a small profit, but you ain't going to make no real money. And it's going to be a lot more stressful because your drawdown is always going to be existent because you're getting in after people start taking profits. This is how people get finessed and finagled in the market every single day. All right? And then the next phase is the markdown, downtrend, right? It starts to come down from where it was at, right? And then where does it go? It goes back into oversold territory. It'll consolidate in that range, and then it'll do the same thing over, right? Now, this is support and resistance as well, right? If it's at support and it's hovering, or it's at an order block and it's hovering, that's your time to accumulate, right? And then it starts to come up. It breaks out. Now everybody wants to enter into the trade when the stock is up $5, $6, $7 on the day, right? And they get in at the height. It pulls back. They get out. Then it goes up a little higher. Then they try to get in again. It pulls back again and it starts to dump. And now they get their money taken. This happens all the time, y'all. All right? So I want you to start asking yourself, is this the accumulation phase? Is this the public participation phase, or the markup, or the blast off, or the breakout? Is this the distribution phase, right? Or is this the markdown phase or the downtrend phase? All right? You got multiple phases. All you got to do is identify what phase we're in, and that's going to let you know if you should take an entry or not. All right? If you are in a accumulation phase, you could go a little bit heavier, right? You could be a little more patient. You're going to get, hundreds of percent return. If you in the public participation phase, you may want to swing overnight. You may want to day trade it. You may want to scalp it. If you in a distribution phase, you should be starting to look at puts or just scalping it / maybe day trading it. In the markdown phase, you can swing puts. All right? That's how the game go. Because when you got to understand, investors, what does an investor with a lot of money want to do? They want to make the most amount of money by doing the least. So when the stock is low, or when it's oversold, or when it's getting accumulated, when nobody's talking about it, they buying in. After that, they buy in, they do nothing. It breaks out. They let people push the market up, and then it's at a peak, they sell. They start taking profits, that's when it starts getting choppy, right? And then what happens? They all out of their position, people think it's still gonna go up, and then it drops. All right, so let's go to a textbook example of this, guys. All right, let's go to a textbook example of this on the charts. You guys already know I'm very, very focused on the charts. These charts will tell you exactly what's going on and what's happening. All right. So we got charts right here. Oh no. Let's go to. All right. Okay. So this is OKLO. I called OKLO out about a month or so ago, and it blasted off, right? So watch this. Let's go back. Right, let's go back. So this area right here, okay, is an accumulation phase, or even this area right here. This is when they was at $11, right? They ain't been at $11. It's only been a year, but they was at $11 right here, okay? So watch this. This is a time to accumulate, and this is a time to accumulate. So watch. I'm going to put right here, under here. This is a time to accumulate, right? This area, right? Time to accumulate. And then you see we have a move to the upside, right? So the stock went from $11 $6 all the way to 27. All right. This is the markup, right? Or the public participation. All right. Now, as you can see, it starts to kind of flag, but it did come back down to like $17. So you can call that a distribution, right? Distribution, right? But look what happened. It didn't come back down too crazy. So because it didn't come back down too crazy and it started coming up, this is still a good time to accumulate. Okay, now watch this. And then it blasts off crazy and it comes all the way up to 56, right? So this is more public participation. This is more public participation. All right. And markup. And then look what happens. Now we have a markdown or a downtrend. All right. So it went all the way up to 56 right here. And then it came all the way down. So now we have the markdown. Right. Now we have the markdown all the way down here. So it came back down to $19 after being up. So if you get in right here at 47 and it comes up to 55 and you don't take profit, look what happens. Boom, right? You hold the bag, you lose money. Now, in this area right here, okay, from 31 down to 16, we have another area, we have another zone, right? From this little area right here. From here, say from here to here, right? We have another what? We have another area of accumulation. Okay? Accumulation. All right? Accumulation phase. Again. So it's happening all over again. Right? Right here. And we got that order block. And then look what happens. It blasts off again. Right? Once again, what do we call this? Public participation. Markup. Right? Slash markup. Right? Again. Did it again. And then look what happened. It had a pullback here. This looks like a little bull flag. Came up higher. Distributed a little bit very quickly. And then look what happened. Came back down here. Right? To 50. That's a downtrend. Right? Now that brings us to where we were at recently, which is this area right here. Right? This was back in September, in the middle of September. I called these guys out. If you don't believe me, go look on my lives and go to September on my watch list on my Sunday setup lives, and then you'll see exactly what happened. So this area right here, we were flagging, right? We were flagging. We were going up and down in this area right here, right? So watch this. Watch what happened. We down here, right? So this is in the area. You get another opportunity. Accumulation. Again. So you get another accumulation phase right here. Right? You get another accumulation phase right here. So from June to September, it consolidates in this range, right? It goes up and down, up and down, up and down. And now, and then look what happens. Look what happens. We go from $85 all the way to $130, I believe. $85 all the way to 130 right here. Right? This happened in a week. Right? This happened in a week. So we're going to call that public participation. Slash markup. Right? So this was your time to accumulate, get in your calls, and then boom. And then look what happened. They got a rug pull right here. Boom. Right? Now this is a shorter period of time, but look what happened. We consolidated in this area. So what is that? Accumulation, right? Because we came down all the way back down to 106. We accumulated for a few days. And then look what happened. We went back up all the way to 193. All right, this happened in the span of a month, y'all. All right, it's public participation again. And then now, look, guys, from 193 all the way down to 110. All right, mark down or downtrend. Okay. This is the name of the game right here. Accumulation, public participation, distribution, and then markdown or downtrend. Do not get caught up on the wrong side of these cycles right here. Okay? I just broke this down for you guys all the way from down here going to the upside, right? And you see what's been happening. Right? You see what's been happening. So now we have a bottom here and we just popped up. So we could be coming back to the upside, but getting in at $85 and catching it going up to 135 could have changed your life. 145, right? And then it came down and then it went right back up to 192. Okay. So these are the cycles of the market. This is how you change your life. You understand this game and then you play the game. That's all you got to do. Understand the game and you play the game. Okay? Don't be getting caught up in being excited about a stock, getting into it, and then it rug pulls and now you down. You want to learn how to read the charts so that you could see this stuff clearly. All right? So I hope that this video helped. If it did, let me know in the comments what you liked, what made sense, what hit you, what was your aha moment. All right? Like I always say, make sure you get up out your head and go get into the world, because your head is a dangerous place to live. All right? And also remember, y'all, the more you study, the less you worry. All right? I appreciate y'all time. Y'all stay smooth, man. I'm going to holler at you on the next video. Peace.